Okay, welcome everybody today. Welcome to this week's episode on Laid Back the Aturazingo podcast. And today we'll be talking about the role of sports in life. And we meet here today. I have Gomez. How are you, Gomez?
Very well, thank you. It's an honor to be on your hot seat, Areza. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's so many years now. So many years now. But I remember the last thing I remember was, I think it was after uni then, that there was this group that we used to talk about football. AGO, everybody was on that.
Yeah, I'm talking of the last time we saw.
No, oh man, it should be over 10, 13, 14 years now. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so Gomez and I, we go way back and we went to the same uni. And back then we actually played a lot of football. So I think this is the best topic to actually.
You played a lot of football.
Yeah, but at least you used to come there. I think you had a knee injury at the time, but at least you used to come to the field all the time then.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you used to come to the field all the time then. But yeah, I think I played the amount of football I played back then. I don't think I've ever. I don't think after then I okay, maybe in secondary school, but after then, man, I think I stopped playing football entirely at some point. Yeah. But so we're gonna talk about the role of sports in life. Gomez, do you think sports actually plays a role in life, or do you think it's just something we just do for leisure, for fun? We just watch it and just entertain ourselves?
Well, I think yes. Sports plays a huge role in life for any devoted.
Yeah.
We were devoted as against maybe a leisure or casual person who is involved in sports. If you're devoted to sports, I think it goes a long way in giving you some structure. Say on things like say discipline, for instance. Timing, knowing when to conserve energy, and staying fit generally.
Yeah.
I just saw your WhatsApp DP. You still look dream. I'm like custard.
Well, don't let pictures deceive you. But I still play football. I actually play football on Saturday.
Exactly.
I still play, but not as much as I would have liked. But growing up, I think I've said this on the podcast before. Anybody that knows me from primary school knows this about me. I started organizing football matches as far back as primary 1. I think everybody that knows me from primary school knows this. I used to play football, and back then I realized football actually it actually helped me to grow as a person. That's my own view. I don't know about another person. Maybe everybody's different, but football made me more competitive. I would say football made me more competitive, and there's something then I joined like a football club then as a young boy, and there's this thing like they will try as much as possible to instill discipline, focus, determination, teamwork, because they're trying as much as possible to make you understand it's not just about you. Even though you know how to play football, it's about everybody, it's about a team. So if you are late, the coach will try as much as possible to discipline you, tell you to pick pin for hours or whatever. So like now, do you think like since you've been watching football, okay, not just playing, okay, even if you don't play, when you watch sports and play sports, do you think it actually like do you see the correlation between sports and life, and do you think it has played any role in your own life?
Yes, I would probably take you back to your last statement now about organizing football back then as a young boy of say 11, 12, 13.
Yeah.
No doubt that had probably given you some leadership skills, taking initiative, leading, providing some structure to a football match. Because organizing a football match, it's not just getting in the players. You also have to get in a referee, someone that you think will be unbiased, and getting the footballs, which wouldn't be easy at the time because, well, growing up, buying the football, it wasn't a cheap venture, and most parents weren't really buying footballs for their kids.
Yeah.
Getting everything ready, jerseys, whistle, and all that. That I would think should translate into some leadership qualities because, like you said, you have always been involved in organizing, getting people together and all that. So yes, I think participating in sport in that aspect, of course, overlaps and helps in other areas in life. Personally, I would say I played a bit of football and I also play for volleyball.
Okay.
I think the key thing for me is the competitiveness.
Okay.
In life, I think we have to be competitive, not in its toxic sense.
Yeah.
You know when people talk about competition, for some people it's a do or die affair. I mean, if I play against you in a football game and we give our all and you win or I win, at the end of the game, like we do in volleyball in Lagos, everyone goes to some place, sits down, get a few drinks, talk about the game, talk about life, and all that. It's not a do or die affair. It's just the competition, the ability to push yourself to your limit, to try to, that ability to get you to attain heights that you probably didn't think you could, So yes, I like the fact that sports it gives you that competitive spirit, which in life you can also apply. When you do other stuff, just try as much as possible. Strive to do your best. If you're going to say become a student, for instance, you try and be a good student. You try and give your all. Leave everything on the field of play. You don't want to go home thinking, oh, I should have hit that ball harder. Oh, I should have passed that ball. Oh, I should have I should have run an extra mile. So in life, I think as with sports, if you some of those characteristics that we picked up, competitiveness, also helped me in life. Another thing is teamwork, which in life and in corporate sector and in every other part of life, it's probably described as collaboration and maybe cooperation. So football, for instance, you have 11 players running around you. There's a goalkeeper who is the only one permitted by the rules of the game to handle the ball, and there are players who are supposed to defend the goal, and there are players who are supposed to put the ball in the back of the opponent's net. So you have to understand these rules in the context of your team and the context of your own role. So when as a goalkeeper you get the ball, you know who to give the ball, you know who to take the ball to, and that person knows who to pass the ball to. You see, you just learn this cooperation and collaboration. So I think yes, that also has helped me in life. And like I said, from my involvement with sports, I've learned that it's not always a do or die affair. I mean, you can compete, you can do your best, but once that is over, I mean, you shake your hands.
You shake hands and move on. But so let's link it to competition and being competitive. Because I still feel like some people still don't know that thin line between having a healthy competition and them being so toxic to their friends or whatever. It's okay to be competitive. I get that.
It is.
It's okay to be competitive, because if you're not competitive and you don't set high standards for yourself, I don't think you'll ever be at the top, to be honest. But But there are people you see. Okay, this is what I feel. Okay, let's link it to like football, since we are both football fans.
Yeah.
I don't think the best footballers compete. I'm not saying the competition is bad for them, but for you to be at the top, at least I play football, I don't think the best footballers compete with other people too much. They see themselves as competition to start with. Yeah, no, I'm serious. Like, because if you think about it, like, if you remember when the Cristiano Ronaldo Messi thing started, I don't think the players were the ones that actually pushed for that debate. They didn't see themselves as like they didn't compete against each other at all. I think Cristiano in particular at least found himself as, man, I need, like, okay, I've done this. I'm working against myself now. Well, how can I be better? That's what I think. But I think the fans were the ones that actually pushed the debate towards the angle, Messi versus Ronaldo.
Well, I agree with you to some extent. The fans, yes. You should also understand that football is business, and that if you want your business to make more money, then you need people to talk about something controversial, something that would divide opinion. You need to create sides, that can only swell and not reduce. Also, I think in the case of Messi and Ronaldo, I think the competition, they also had this healthy competition. I think within themselves, they challenge each other.
Yeah.
They're not, when we see a few of the interactions in public, they're not sworn enemies. They're not.
No, they're not.
You can see there's this healthy admiration they have for each other.
Yeah.
They're not toxic towards each other, but they know I can only get the best of from myself if I try to keep up with this guy. If you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
In a way, that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah.
Igwe and your man Ruud van Nistelrooy. Igwe is Thierry Henry.
Yeah.
And Ruud van Nistelrooy had something similar. On the footballing level, ability-wise, I'm sure you're a Man United fan, but you would agree that Thierry Henry was ahead of a lot of players in his time. Maybe most
he was a better player, but I still think that Ruud was a better finisher.
Good, you see.
No, general like in qualification player, but when it comes to finishing, forget that for Ruud. Like he was a better finisher.
I agree.
Yeah.
But what happened in their generation? Both of them took turns in becoming the highest goal scorer for the league.
Yeah.
That translated into making their teams title contenders.
True.
You see?
Yeah.
And also, of course, it will spread to the rest of the team. It gives ambition to the rest of the players. Like, look, we have Ruud van Nistelrooy, who is trying to outscore every other player in the league, trying to outscore Henry. So he's going to take the extra step. He's going to make an extra stretch to score goals, to do that. And the Arsenal team will think, yes, we have Thierry Henry, who is trying to prove to the world that he's the best player. He's trying to outscore his people. Give him the ball. He's going to work for 90 minutes. You see? So invariably, this has spread to the team and has also influenced the league and influenced the outcome eventually. So what I'm trying to say in essence is this: in as much as we think that maybe the fans and all that started all the competition and all that, I also think deep down in their minds, both of them also try to compete with each other, try to outscore the other, try to outdo the other. It's. I mean, I don't think without Messi, Ronaldo would have achieved as much, and I don't think without Cristiano, Messi would have achieved much. I frankly don't think so.
Yeah.
Because we have followed football for a while. We've had Maradona. We've had. I'm talking of in the 90s now. We've had Ronaldo, who the phenomenon, the one who we know is probably the best ever of all times.
Yeah.
First ever front line, exactly. If Ronaldo da Lima had someone like, say, Thierry Henry or even Cristiano Ronaldo to compete with in terms of goals and ability, despite his injury, I'm sure Ronaldo would have, those World Cups, he would have banged in 7, 8, 9, 10 goals in a game. Miroslav Klose came on, I think, was it against Saudi Arabia? And got 4 goals. And on that platform, he won highest goal scorer, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Someone like Ronaldo probably will score a hat-trick and the managers will take him off. Case in point, against Nigeria, Ronaldo, Atlanta 96, yeah?
Yeah.
They were winning us. And the manager took off Ronaldo.
Yeah.
If you remember, took off Ronaldo. I mean, in this current climb, they wouldn't take off Ronaldo in a semi-final.
Yeah.
You leave him there. You want him to be the highest goal scorer. He would ask you to leave him on the field of play, except he's injured, because he wants to be the highest goal scorer. Yeah. He probably wants to win the play of the tournament. And if he has someone else, like say, an equivalent now, named Messi, that he's also in competition with, he would want to, as much as possible, score more goals in the Olympics and be an Olympic gold medalist, and so that people can say, oh yeah, Ronaldo has also won the Olympics. What has Messi won?
Yeah.
So I think, in as much as we might also say, and the fans started in the media, the pundits, I think the players also revel, enjoy this type of and want it, they encourage it. I think so.
No, yeah, like no doubt, but because the best players, not just football, the best sports people, whether it is tennis, lawn tennis, whatever, they always want to compete against the best, because that's what actually tells you whether you're good or not. If you're that good, it will show. If you're not that good, it will show.
And that is how you make the headlines.
What?
And that is how you make the headlines.
Yeah. And that's how you make the headline, because you have to be the best to actually be the best. But so the like competition, that's one thing I know about sports, because sports actually makes you competitive. It may be subtle, even if you're the calmest person, but you'll be competitive to the point that you are always striving to be the best without even knowing. It's something it's something that happens to you, even if you don't stress yourself too much, but somehow you are still trying as much as possible to be the best, but you will not make noise about it. And for example, if you look at Federer, Djokovic, Nadal, the rivalry was between Nadal and Federer at the beginning, but Djokovic came into the scene as a very, very in a very subtle way. Like nobody was actually talking about him. He wasn't even all of a sudden he became a three-way thing. Because initially, if you remember, nobody was actually talking about who was Djokovic. Nobody was actually talking about Djokovic. But eventually, he came into the picture. And now, it's like, if Djokovic doesn't win, Nadal must win. If Nadal doesn't win, then Federer must win. So,
competing with Nadal and Federer was the only way Djokovic would have made himself known to the world, you see.
Yeah.
If you don't, like you said, go toe to toe against these guys, there's really nothing for you.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing for you.
I agree. I agree. You must push yourself. There must be a way for you to actually push yourself and say, okay, do you know what? But that's one thing I like about sports. Okay, for example, I remember I used to tell people, like, whenever they talk about Cristiano versus Messi, and the reply I give people always get I know it's not the reply they're always expecting, but that's always my reply. A player knows who's better than him. This is the truth. Every player I've met in this life knows who is better than him. Is it like I've never seen any player? For example, we all played together with Ejiro, and everybody knew Ejiro was good. You don't even need to make noise. You know. So why are you actually arguing? Even if you say, okay, you know what, he is the best, Ejiro is the best. Okay, you know what, let me compete against Ejiro. But deep down, you know he's good. You don't even need to make noise about it. And that's the same thing with every player. No matter, even if they say, okay, you know what, Gomez is my benchmark. let's see if I can actually beat Gomez. You know deep down Gomez is good. Even if you don't say it in the press, you see what I mean. But you know, you know.
But what he does for you is he makes you raise your game.
Exactly.
It gives you that determination to do the. I don't think, frankly, I don't think Ronaldo, if he doesn't have the competition from Messi, will want to be playing 90 minutes at this age.
No. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. But if all I'm trying to say is, deep down, if you ask both of them, they know who is better.
Of course.
That's the point I'm trying to make. But it still doesn't stop the person from being competitive, but they know who is better.
Exactly. What a lecturer in school used to say, they say all fingers are not equal.
True.
Just make sure you're not the smallest finger.
Yeah, just make sure you're not the smallest finger. I agree.
Just try not to be the smallest finger.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take you back a bit to what you said about subconsciously you're always competing. Even if the competition is not against anyone, you're always also subconsciously competing against yourself, trying to outdo what you did before. You see, which I would imagine in life should be
the goal. Yeah.
Yes, the goal. Because I mean, if you achieve, say, if you pass common entrance and you scored 560 those days or something, and you decide, oh, I'm in secondary school now, I got one of the best scores in common entrance. I said, well, that's it. I mean, you're not going to grow in life. You probably get stunted, and all that knowledge will fizzle out in 1 or 2 years. And the people who manage to get through common entrance will probably put in their effort and now start topping their class in secondary school, moving forward, and they get to uni and continue to challenge themselves, continue to do more, continue to work harder.
Yeah.
You know, and all that should be the normal progression in life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it doesn't necessarily have to be competition with another person, competition with an opponent. You can also compete with yourself, and challenge yourself just to be better than you were yesterday, which I'm sure you live by, and I also live by.
Yeah. But now that you just mentioned it, like, sports actually makes you compete against yourself without actually knowing. You feel like you can always do better.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's always room for improvement. Yeah. Because there's this thing I know there's I don't know if people remember, but if you remember this thing, remember there was something Alex Ferguson used to do with his players. He would say at the beginning of the season that he's expecting maybe 20 goals from midfield. And you don't challenge Ronaldo and say, I'm expecting to score 5 goals. Ronaldo will try as much as possible to say, okay, you know what, this is the challenge, and score 10. Without knowing, it's banter. It's simple banter between the boss and the student. But he's actually trying as much as possible to make the boy to be more competitive and challenge for more.
And to have ambition.
Yeah. And to have ambition and go for more. But not, to be fair, I know we keep saying, but not all players end up being so competitive anyway. Some people along the line, maybe because it came to a point, is like someone like Anderson, because I expected so much from that guy. But they end up maybe the ambition is not that much, or maybe they're not that ambitious, and they get to the point and say, okay, you know what, I don't think this is for me, and just say that's the end. Because I feel like the level he was at the beginning, he was almost at that Fabregas level. And if he was that ambitious and more competitive, I think he would have surpassed a lot of midfielders. But I don't think he pushed himself enough like Ronaldo did.
Well, this is where the players' mentality and probably environment will come into. And this is a different conversation, I would imagine, to what we're talking about, because you've mentioned Anderson. In this generation, there's quite a few players within that bracket that who might feel disappointed didn't attain. Renato Sanchez, for instance, I'm sure you know Renato Sanchez.
Yeah.
Really good player, very good technique. Mario Balotelli, even players like Hazard, for instance. Every player, I mean, as a Chelsea fan, of course, I followed Chelsea players and all that. Every player that has trained with and against Hazard says he is absolutely phenomenal. But Hazard doesn't have the numbers
to back it up.
He doesn't. He doesn't.
But
he does not.
But
he does not.
Yeah, I know he doesn't have the numbers, but does everything really have to be about numbers as well? Because clearly anybody can tell that he's good.
Again, this is another conversation.
Yeah.
How else can you, in the context of sports, football, which is a business, benchmark performance if you don't want to do numbers? I used to be against numbers. A lot of our friends from way back will probably agree that I used to be against numbers. I used to think, well, the player's ability should count more. It should count for a lot more than his, in quotes, numbers. But looking back now, and I had to change that stance. Yakubu Ayobele is worshipped in Everton.
Yeah.
And if you go through his numbers, you see why. He's not worshipped because and you're a footballer, if you play something like Monkey Post with Yakubu Ayobele, you are going to lose. He's an absolute top baller.
Yeah.
But he found a way to also score goals. And he's found a way to score those monkey post-like penalties that are impossible to keep, impossible to catch. You can't save those penalties. It's totally impossible. Because this player understands you as a goalkeeper. Before he kicks the ball, he already knows what you want to do.
Yeah.
And he's correct 98% of the times he does that. He rarely misses penalty. His penalty is different from Jorginho's penalty. If you want to, Jorginho is different. Ayobele's penalty, penalties are almost flawless.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is this: I used to be of that school of thought that the player's ability should count for more. Then I watched more football. I saw players like Jawi, Abotreka, Baraka. Some of these players didn't get to post high numbers, didn't get to do great things in terms of what we regard as great things like both Football of the Year nominations and all that. But their peers respect them.
Yeah.
You see, every other person, we some football purists will respect them.
Yeah.
But not job. Ronaldo is a brand. Not just because he has football ability. Ronaldo is a brand because he has the numbers to back it up. And Ronaldo is a monster. If you want to talk about football ability, Ronaldo can probably dribble the whole pitch. When he joined you guys, he had that blonde little dye of hair. They used to dance around the pitch. And I think maybe Ferguson told him, see, the bottom line is the numbers. And he changed his game.
Yeah.
And built himself to be able to do these numbers. You see? You also have to prepare your body to be able to do. He didn't bulk up, he just added muscle. So he can leap and can run a bit more faster and can hold his own, So I think, yes, numbers now are quite important. I used to, I'm sorry, I used to be of that. I used to say, he's a very good footballer, all that, but I mean, if you don't have the numbers now. And if I go into coaching and I come in contact with good youngsters, for instance, good players and all that, I'm going to tell them, look, the world doesn't care about how good you are and how many players.
So it's all about numbers then. It's a numbers game.
Yes, it's a numbers game.
Oh.
I think the world is also playing the numbers game.
Yeah.
The economy is a numbers game. You see, this is something sports taught me. I think we can also tie that to our topic.
Yeah.
Eventually, everything is about the numbers. What evidence do you have?
Yeah.
And yes, you understand. You can, and you are quite a good player, but you disliked missing goals, really. You did. No, hold on, you did. Part of it was you probably you liked doing the spectacular. If we know what we know now, we knew back then.
Yeah.
You probably wouldn't be trying a lot of spectacular shots. You
Yeah,
prefer to score more goals.
I would have scored more. But
Yeah,
when people tell me, I've had two people tell me this recently that I miss a lot of chances there, but still, because we had this thing we used to do back then in my department, like we played football matches, so we're actually keeping record of how many people, like how many goals you scored. But till I finished, I was the highest goal scorer from the beginning to the end. So I didn't understand when we started telling me that I missed chances. I'm like,
you have no competition, Arize. You have no competition. You had none. If you were competing with, say, Ejiro, though Ejiro then wasn't also scoring a lot of goals.
Yeah.
Ejiro was scoring spectacular. But towards the end, he started scoring lots of goals.
Yeah.
But he preferred to do the spectacular and all that, which is his game, and he's quite good at it.
Yeah.
If you had maybe compared yourself to him, or say Chido Melazo, who was also an outright striker.
Yeah, he was a very good scorer. Yeah, I agree.
I don't know if you're allowed to mention names on your podcast.
Yeah, fair, but he was a very good scorer.
Exactly. So imagine if you had that benchmark, say you wanted to outscore this player, outscore some other player.
Yeah,
then
maybe I would have put myself to actually score more. You have a point.
You would have scored more.
Yeah,
and some of those penalties you would have outrightly see. I think my mentality changed when I watched Lampard closely.
Yeah,
Lampard isn't that a highly skillful player.
Yeah,
but Lampard will hit the ball so hard you want to go back to your mother's house if you're looking.
Yeah. True.
And Lampard believed in himself. I was hitting every and any ball.
Yeah.
It doesn't until he started doing the numbers, until he gained the reputation, and the reputation helped him. And defender now lose hope anytime he arrives to the box. Either he's arriving early or arriving late.
Yeah.
There's Lampard in the box. They will just relax and he will out-jump them. Or they will leave the ball, or he will try to leak in front of them to either tap in or all that, because reputation helps, you see.
Yeah.
But you have to fight to get that reputation.
Yeah.
So it's all about the numbers. If we are being truthful, Lampard shouldn't get a world best footballer nomination ahead of players like, say, Pablo Aimar. In terms of footballing ability,
you
know that. But Pablo Aimar never had the numbers Lampard had. Never ever had those numbers. And this had nothing to do with where he's from or the league you're playing at or your age, or it had nothing to do with that.
Yeah. Fair.
So the numbers game, and that's what sport taught me.
Yeah. You have a good point there. Oh, interesting. But
I also think our man Jose Mourinho.
Yeah.
He gets top jobs because of his numbers.
Yeah, not necessarily, because if you actually think about it, I think he's not that good like that anymore. but it's the truth.
Let's not use that phrase. He's not that good anymore. Let's say he's not getting the results. Because form is temporary. Class is permanent.
He has the class, but I don't think he's as progressive as Ferguson and Guardiola.
What's
He's
progression?
still
What's progression? Being progressive. I want to understand that phrase.
When I talk about progression, what I mean is, and that's one thing that football actually teaches you as well, adaptability.
Good.
Because for example, I've watched Ferguson over the years. Ferguson could adapt to any system. When he came to in 1999 after winning the treble, next thing he bought Ruud van Nistelrooy. He discarded Dwight York and Cole, who were actually the top strikers who scored a lot of goals that year, and went and switched to 4-4-1-1. Scholes was always the guy behind Van Nistelrooy.
Yeah.
When Mourinho came, he saw that Man United were playing catch up to Mourinho. What did he do again? He changed his formation again. Because initially he was trying to say, you know what, let's use the 4-4-2. He realized it wasn't working and changed it again. It took a year or two, but he got the title back and won it three times on the trot. Then look at Guardiola. Guardiola has done the same thing. Guardiola is only one of the coaches that I've seen. I don't think people notice it. He changes formation 3 times or 4 times in one match.
He does.
Like, that's adaptability. I don't know if people notice it, but that's hard to do. He changes his formation 3-4 times in one game.
Do you know why he'll get away with it?
Why?
The Julius players aren't just normal players. He makes sure he gets cerebral players that can understand the flow of the game.
No, but it still links to this thing we're talking about. One thing sports actually does for you, sports actually tells you or makes you think, and then you understand. Like, I tell people, like, sports is all about intelligence, and they doubt me, and they doubt me all the time. They think I'm just making it up. All the best players I've met in my life, before they get the ball, they already know what they want to do with the ball before the ball even comes. Look at Ozil. Look at Ozil and Guardiola's guys. Like, okay, forget about Ozil. Let's focus on Guardiola's guys, since you mentioned Guardiola's players. Look at Foden. Before Foden gets the ball, Foden already knows what he wants to do.
2 steps. The ball probably will be with 2 players behind, and Foden already knows what he wants to do with the ball. Yes,
exactly. And that's when I realized football is all about intelligence and calculation.
It is.
It may sound like, that's when I know this. It may sound wrong, but whenever I see any player that uses muscle too much to play football, I feel like this person can never be at the top level. I know what I'm saying, because football is not about muscle.
I know the player you want to talk about.
No, I don't want to mention anybody's name, but I can tell the person cannot get to the top because football is not about muscle. I know what I'm saying. It sounds as if it's about muscle. No, but it's about mental muscle in your brain. Not even, yes, you just train to make sure that you are fit enough, but the brain is what actually controls what you do.
I think that player in Midlands that I think you're thinking about, he plays under a Bielsa or a Klopp. I think he will get to that level.
I doubt.
I think so. I think so.
I don't see it happening. Honestly, I don't see it happening, and that's why I say, like, these are things I think I've learned from football. I can actually football actually. Maybe I'm wrong, but this is my own view. Playing football a lot made me feel like I can read anybody easily. I can read anybody. The only thing I need to do is just to watch you for a day, or just 5, 10, 15 minutes, and that's enough for me. I can read and tell you what the person can do and cannot do. It makes, and if you notice sometimes, I tweet about a player, maybe when the player is not even that yet popular yet, and later the person will become popular. Have you noticed it? I'm not saying I do because I have this. No, it's just watch the person. You can tell. You can tell whether the person is going to be there or not. You can tell. Like the first time I saw Haaland, I straight up I said it. This boy is going to be there. There was no iota of doubt in my mind that he's going to be there. Why? Because there's a certain way top players or people who you know are going to be at the top. There's a certain way they behave and a certain way they think. You can tell. You can easily tell.
Speaking of Haaland, I hope Mbappe and other good players within their age brackets get some rivalry going on, or else they're going to fizzle out. they need to be more competitive. I mean, Haaland doesn't need any competition, but I think if he has a proper competition,
Yeah.
he even do more numbers than he's currently posting now.
Yeah.
I don't think he needs any motivation to perform. I don't think he's one of those players that, well, I'm playing, say, Barnsley. I don't need to score any goals. I think if he's playing Barnsley, if he's 10 opportunities, he's going to try to score the 10 of them and not chicken.
Yeah.
But I think Mbappe should step up. But we need to now be comparing Mbappe, with Haaland, and we need to be comparing their numbers and their performances every weekend,
Yeah.
Just to help them, especially if they can mentally cope, just to help them get to the level that Messi and Ronaldo fortunately attained, really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
well, let's see how it goes. Who knows? Maybe you don't know this. Another player could pop up. It could be Rodrigo, but I don't think it's going to be Vinicius. But it could be Rodrigo. It could be someone else. But you never know. You never know.
Vinicius is catching up now.
He's catching up, but I still don't see it. But you never. Some people are late bloomers. But
yeah.
So some people are late bloomers, but I don't. I mean,
relocating from South America isn't that an easy thing for many.
Well. But anyway, we've gone past the time. But so this is where we're gonna stop and round off for today.
I did enjoy this podcast. I think we should do more.
Do you know the funny thing? Everybody I've had on this podcast says the same thing.
Yeah.
Everybody says it because and to be honest, I'm glad. I'm happy to get the feedback. But I just want everybody to just relax and have just a laid back conversation. That's it, really. Yeah. But anyway, thank you, Gomez, for coming on the show, and hopefully we'll talk again soon.
Thank you, man.
All right.